What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We got a live CHGO Bulls pregame coming up for y'all right around the corner. Bulls in the front end of a back-to-back tonight, both times hosting the Pistons here in Chicago. We'll take a look at what Cunningham, the first-time All-Star, and his teammate Jalen Duren have been up to. They gave the Bulls the business just about a week ago. Plus, Matas trending upwards, Vooch, not so much. Coming up next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls pregame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's Big Dave. Bam! Bam! BAWL Sports. Uncle Will, four-time champ, man in the middle. Will_Perdue, 32.
Present.
In-house. Will the Go Gottlieb at the UC, doing his thing, reporting. Follow him too, Will_Gottlieb. And, of course, the queen of the controls, the one and only Katie Duffy. What up, Katie?
Pew. Hi.
Bulls basketball back in action.
Yeah.
Back-to-back, night one, the Pistons again.
Yeah.
And, man, so this is the second game in a span of, maybe 10 or 11 days where they will play the Pistons 3 times.
Trace.
Uncle Will, you know a thing or two about playing the Pistons a whole lot. Fully decked out in full Bulls regalia tonight. Is it because we're playing the Pistons?
Yeah.
I know you wear a lot of Bulls gear, but you are like aggressively Mr. Bulls tonight.
Yeah. Nice shoes, too.
Thank you. Yeah, because, part of the reason I'm wearing this stuff is because I'm headed to California on Thursday.
Flex.
Ooh, yes.
For All-Star break.
Ooh, the
So
Sunny California.
Wait, you're going down to the All-Star game?
No, I'm going to Palm Springs to play golf.
Oh, the super flex. Dun,
So-
dun, dun, dun. Your flex got a cape on it.
Warm weather.
Yes, sir.
But as you've noticed, like if I'm going to be working
Mm-hmm.
and not going to the game or not leaving this building, I'll try to wear Bull stuff because it's appropriate because more times than not, you guys wear Bull stuff.
This is true, although I don't know if you've noticed. Recently, I've trended towards repping more CHGO gear than Bulls gear.
Yeah.
I've noticed
Not
that.
for any particular reason.
But you
Look
do
at
have a
his
Bulls
hat.
hat on, so that's okay.
I do have a Bulls
And I'm
hat.
wearing a hat because I got a haircut today, and I haven't. You know how it is. You know, you get your hair cut, and you're like, it looks pretty good, but your stylist never puts it the way you want it.
Right.
I don't have a stylist, Will. So.
Well, what do you want me to say? My barber?
Yeah, you got a
Yeah.
barber.
Oh, yeah. Us poors say barber.
Well, no, I was trying to.
Stylist. Yeah.
I was trying to give my man Daniel a little more credit. I go to a barber shop. I do.
Oh, shout out to you. All right. You been going there for a long time?
Yeah, since we moved into the Sauganash area, I found a spot. Yeah.
Okay. Shout out, man.
And also, I like how Dave's trying to make you feel like, oh, you have a stylist. Big Dave has somebody come to his home to take care of his hair for him. Right?
No.
Am I correct?
No. She will.
Yeah, okay.
But
Has
no.
she ever?
No, she's never come to my home to do my hair. I've definitely gone anywhere she has wanted me to come to get my hair done by her.
Okay, I must have
But I am one of her
misremembered.
few clients. Like, I've had barbers come to my house to cut my
So I'm not crazy.
to line me up and stuff like
Right.
that. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. No,
Whoa.
don't get that twist. Hey, man.
Whoa.
Oh, no, I'm
What was
crazy. I don't
that?
mind that.
That was
No,
out
Katie's
of,
a hater. Have you not learned?
that was out of
Katie's
left
a hater.
I think that
field.
was Katie just somewhat verbally disagreeing with me saying I'm not crazy.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was.
No,
yes.
and she's right to assume that, you know, and coming from Queen Crazy, it's all right with me. It's okay. It doesn't bother me at all. She tells no lies.
Yes, but okay, let's just be very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have Katie be crazy?
Yeah.
A little crazy?
Yeah.
Little cuckoo?
Uh-huh.
Or would you rather have her be biatch?
Oh, okay. That's a great question.
I don't know how those are an either or
It,
question.
it's an either or.
But-
It's definitely either or. I'm gonna take crazy because she's always been crazy since I known her.
yeah.
So I'm gonna keep rolling with that.
I'll take crazy work ethic because she definitely has
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I appreciate it.
She's just all around other things insane, but
Let me save you, Dave.
yeah. No, I don't need no saving, baby. This
I
is
don't know.
insane.
I don't know how we got
Save
here.
him.
I don't need no saving. Will, good good to go.
What's happening?
I am good to go, man.
Just use the word.
Don't use the
unpredictable.
word.
No, these are not things I
has
have
a great
not
work
said
ethic.
to her. Like, it's okay.
She really struggles to, date a quality man.
Yeah.
Will Perdue.
You basically shared that with
You
us.
did share that
I'm
with
just
him
saying
on
your
air.
exact
You
words.
did.
I
You
shared
absolutely
it.
did that.
I shared it with my dear friend Will Perdue, not
On
with
air.
not with the 100 people watching.
Oh,
this.
No, you told
Welcome
Will.
to the segment called Uncle Will Blows Up My Spot in front of everyone on our show, Katie. I've been here for a year.
This is true. Will is about that life. It's true. Will, that is a fact.
Well, I mean, we're at the point now. We're all adults here.
Yes. Be grown, Will.
So, some of us more than others.
But Katie, if that's the case, you need to clarify that when you say, hey, sometime we need to all sit around and talk about how I've made some really bad choices.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Yes,
You
you
literally
did.
said that to him on air. I was sitting right here. You did say that, dog.
I didn't realize that I was like always on the record with Will. I thought we
It's
were
a
just
camera.
pals.
It's a
I
live show.
No,
but-
it's not that you were even on the camera. We were on the show.
We were on the show. Like,
Yes,
he's
but-
right. He's
But
right.
information that Uncle Will learns not on the show, you have to clarify. It's not necessarily fair game.
That's true. If you
Or
tell
on
him
the show.
on the show, he immediately is like, "Oh, this is fair game" because you said it on the show.
Right.
So I'm not saying that's crazy or illogical what you're thinking, Will, but yeah, it's still funny.
Dreads, can we segue to the game? ... Awkward.
Sorry,
yes,
Dreads.
let's.
No.
Oh, is that why we're here?
Yeah. Hey, we are 2 games from the All-Star break. We know where this team is. We got to have some fun. But I think the thing that Bulls fans are most excited about for these final hashtag next 30 games, shout out AK, is
God.
the development and continued growth of not only minutes, but production and quality of game from the young one himself, Matas Buzelis.
Matas.
Let's start there because in this stretch of games since Zach LaVine was absent for paternity leave and then traded, we have seen Matas' minutes take a significant jump.
Mhm.
And with those minutes taking a significant jump, we have also seen production take a significant jump. Katie, if you have those numbers, this drove me crazy when I was looking at it earlier today.
Ooh.
So here are Matas' shooting efficiency numbers broken down by how many minutes he plays per game appearance.
Oh, not the haircut.
So
I was about to say.
in 15 games thus far this season, he has played somewhere between 0 and 9 minutes.
Mhm.
And in those games, he shot 28% from the field and 20% from 3. Moving on down the line, 24 games in which he's played somewhere between 10 and 19 minutes, his shooting numbers are 38 and 35. Just 11 games, he's managed to eclipse 20 minutes between 20 and 29. And look at those numbers. Those look like legitimate NBA player lethal weapon numbers. 48.5 from the field, 37.5 from 3.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the very inflated one-game sample size. The one time he has played 30 or more minutes, he shot 100% from the field and 100% from 3. And now, obviously, that is a one-game sample size, but even still, the trend of seeing minutes played and his efficiency from the floor, I was pulling my hair out looking at that because we are hoping that we will see nothing but at least 20, 25 plus minutes from Matas from here on out.
Yeah.
But it is, I think, an encouraging sign to see that evidence of the more Matas has played as the season progresses, the better he is.
Yeah.
It's confidence. And remember, confidence doesn't depend on experience. Confidence depends on how you choose to think. Okay?
Bars.
And the one thing that we've all known about Matas since day one is that he doesn't step into the realm of arrogance. He flirts with it. But he talked about how he learned that from his father.
Mm-hmm.
His father said to always expect more from yourself
Mm-hmm.
and approach things like you can accomplish what it is you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing I can tell you as a former player is when you, perfect example, those 9 minutes, I can guarantee you he was probably hyperventilating while he was sitting at the scorer's table waiting to come in. Not because of the fact he was afraid of the stage and was too excited, but it was because he's like, I got a certain amount of time. I got to make something positive happen.
Right.
And you become your own worst enemy.
The adrenaline gets to a point where it's not beneficial, but it detracts from your focus on the game.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden you get in a position, whether they've talked to him about this, whether they've shared it with him, to where you know you're going to play more minutes, you can go in a relaxed state of mind to know that if I make a mistake, I'm not coming out. Because in that 9-minute stretch, those 9 minutes, right? Whether he made a mistake or not, I can promise you, anytime he heard the horn, he probably thought he was the one coming out.
Right.
And like, I'm not looking at the scores table. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You know, because then you're just like, I don't think I made a mistake, but why would somebody? But that's just your mindset.
Right.
Right. And then all of a sudden, then you get in a position to where you go from trying to do too much, and you basically look like a chicken with your head cut off because you're playing too fast, to the point where then you're trying to play and not make a mistake. So now you're playing too slow. And it's just so hard to find your rhythm and to find your comfort zone, because you feel like you should be playing, and B, you know, you have such a short window that you want to, you know, you're not saying, hey, up here is Billy, but you're just like, let me play well so he'll keep me out here. Right. And then what did Billy talk about? He needs to earn those minutes. Because remember, initially we were like, something must be wrong. Is he not practicing hard enough, or not practicing the right way? Or, you know, there's something about he's got to earn his minutes.
Yeah.
And they never really went into depth about that. We just kind of let that go. But now he needs to be playing 30-plus a night, quite honestly, in the sense that we are past the trade deadline. According to, you know, Arturis, we're still playing to win and possibly get a play-in game or the playoffs. And if that's the case, then one of the guys that's playing the best at the moment is Matas Buzelis. Now, moving forward, and I'll leave it at this, I do feel like at some point after the All-Star break, he will hit a wall.
Yeah.
Now, that wall could last a week in 2 or 3 games, or that could last 2 or 3 weeks and last 10 games. So this is why this is where Billy and Matas need to be on the same wavelength, and Matas needs to be very honest with Billy about how he feels, how he thinks he's playing. Because I love what Matas says post-game. Regardless of how he's played, he has yet to say, hey, I played well tonight.
Yeah,
he's always talked about what he could have done better and what he wants to work on moving forward.
And just real quick to confirm, because the Bulls just announced it, as far as playing those 30-plus, Matas has got a good shot tonight, yet again, in that Bulls starting lineup. Lonzo Ball sitting tonight, front end of a back-to-back, and also still trying to get over an illness that he's been dealing with. So the Bulls gave Lonzo one more day. With that, no question, I also, I think there's been some rumors recently and even some talk that Billy really likes what he's seeing from Patrick Williams in this new reserve role off the bench. So with that, your Bulls starting 5 is Giddey, Kobe, Ayo, Matas Buzelis, and Vooch at the 5. Love to see Matas get another start under his cap. Dave, your thoughts on what Uncle Will said?
Will was talking about letting it go. I never let it go about the minutes. Like, I was here preaching it. I didn't understand why he couldn't get more time in there. And even when you were talking about him proving it, and Billy, and when you're a guy who's worried about coming out the game, you just tend to do just enough to keep yourself in there. The first person I was thinking of, honestly, was Patrick Williams. When we were having those conversations about him, about, oh, man, they're calling me out. Let me do a little something. Okay, they leave me alone now. So I like that Matas didn't fall into that. Every opportunity he got on the floor, he used it to get better on doing something, whether it was defensively, whether it was shooting better, whatever. He did something to get better in his time that was out there. Even if it was a 20-point blowout, he was going to try to get somebody the basketball, or he would try to spray out for a 3-point shot. But he would work on his handle. When he would get one-on-one opportunities, which were very few and far between, he would do something with the basketball. I think now Billy is finally recognizing that he should be putting him in more actions. We'll definitely hope to see more pick and roll, because Billy continues to say that, but we need to start seeing it now. It'd be nice. So let's do that tonight, Billy. So yeah, and then I want to see him more in some one-on-one situations, because he's already proven that, hey man, I got a nice little handle, as Will was talking about yesterday. Will, the Go Gottlieb was talking about yesterday. It's very rare. It's few and far between a dude that tall to have handles that are that good. And guys that are that tall, that have handles that good, you can point them out. They're like Kevin Durant and people like that can do it. And even Wemby, I'd put in there with those kind of handles. So it's something that should be tapped into much, much more. And I'm expecting Billy to take that responsibility to allow him to do those things, man. Because now this stuff is going to be on Billy, man, as far as what he's going to draw up. I'm ready to just do it around him, period. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you're there too, man. Like, just do it around him, period.
I was there in October.
You know what I'm saying? So, just let him do around there, period, and go from there.
So, real quick, and I apologize, when you said KD, it made me think that Buzelis actually reminds me of another Kevin. The mentality that he has.
Kevin McHale?
Garnett.
Willis.
Kevin Garnett. Ooh.
The mentality that he has, the approach that he takes.
I can see that.
I remember when Garnett came in the league as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this dude's a punk.
That's what you thought, really?
Well, because of how he acted. And you're like, dude, you haven't done anything yet. Just
that's classic Will Perdue.
Put your foot on the brake a little bit.
Oh, there it is. Will in that brake,
and it wasn't a statement out of disrespect.
Sure.
It was just like, you're talking trash like you've been in the league for 5 or 6 years and you got a couple All-Star appearances under your belt.
About to get this elbow.
Just, prove it first.
Mm-hmm.
Show a little be humble. Remember who you're going against, because he was going against Big Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And, you'll get there. And it was just because I remember because, him popping off a little bit got his teammates in trouble. Because if you ever remember one of the Michael Jordan stories.
Yes. Mm-hmm. With J.R. Ryder, yes.
Yeah. And
classic.
J.R. Ryder's like telling Garnett, shut up, man. Just shut up.
Do you know how cold Mike is when the opposing player is apologizing to him for what somebody
on behalf of one of his teammates saying?
You know how cold you are, dog? Hey, Mike, sorry, he ain't mean no harm, Mike. We apologize, dog.
But I just think
that
the way you see him play and the mentality and how he carries himself, to me, there's a lot of comparisons between the two.
I dig it.
I can see that. I didn't even think of it on that level.
The other one, of course, that comes to mind is in The Last Dance when MJ is relaying the story of when he was chatting with John and Carl, and Brian Russell was talking crap to him in MJ's baseball van. He's like, "Why'd you quit?" And he's like, "Yo, John, Carl, you need to talk to this young dude.
Right.
And tell him what's
what.
Get
him, dog. You better get him."
I'm sorry, MJ. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
But so before we move on to Matas, just really quickly, our friend Kendall Gill.
Our guy
went a little mini viral earlier today on the Chicago Sports Twitterverse because he was chatting with the crew over at 670 The Score.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something on the airwaves that he's already said in confidence to you, Dave, a number of people watching Matas grow this rookie year. Said something to the effect of, y'all who are excited about maybe getting Cooper Flagg, we already have Cooper Flagg in Matas Buzelis. He also said it in a way that he attached it to those of you who are very concerned about this draft pick and maybe this draft pick turning in to Cooper Flagg in a Bulls jersey. We already have Cooper Flagg. Most people, I think, heard that take and said, whoa, Kendall. Just like
the Will
young
Perdue
players talking trash to MJ and their teammates saying, yo, young fella. Will, you've been talking hoops a long time with Kendall. You guys go way back, of the same NBA era. What do you make of that take?
He's a little ahead of his skis at the moment.
I would agree.
Because is he better than Cooper Flagg right now? Probably. But let's give Cooper Flagg – what's Cooper Flagg going to be 2 years out of the league?
Sure.
Out of college.
Yeah.
Okay? Because basically Matas didn't go to college, so 1 year in the G League, 1 year now. Mm-hmm. What exactly did Matas do in the G League that impressed you?
The high-flying ability was impressive to me. The ball handling was impressive to me.
Activity on defense.
Yeah.
Physicality.
But there wasn't a specific skill set about, he's got a good shot and he's, he can get around guys. And, there was a reason why he averaged, 5-6 points. Okay? Mm. But at the same time, you saw potential. Potential's dangerous in this league because we've seen potential in other players, and sometimes the potential never goes anywhere. You've been in the league for 10 years and you still have potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
Won't necessarily have a good career, but you'll get paid off potential.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is that one thing I try to do is listen to the word of others that I respect.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I've been told by more than one scout from more than one team is that Cooper Flagg is just different.
Mm-hmm.
He just from a skill standpoint, because the first thing they all say is he's tearing it up in college, but wait till he gets to the league because he will take the jump immediately because of how he will adapt to the pace of the game, which some people struggle with, right? So I understand where Kendall's coming from because Matas has that potential, okay? But Cooper Flagg, there's not one scout that I know of, and there's not one team that I know of that would not draft him number one.
Yeah.
They all say the same thing. Very few players come into the league where you can get all 30 teams, all general managers and say, number one pick, generational player, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
In every game you watch him play for Duke, he does something different. He takes the next step and the next step and the next step. So if I can somehow get on that summer trip where you guys go to Summer League.
What do you mean somehow get on it? Just come through.
I don't know. We'll see. But those are the games I want to go to. Whoever drafts him. And here's the other thing. He may not play in Summer League.
Oh, that would be
Just skip it?
Yep.
I'd be offended if he don't play in Summer League, bro.
Got to go through those steps.
He got to play.
Yeah.
No. I agree with you, but there may be a team that drafts him that is like, you practice, but you don't go to Vegas.
Oh, man, I would hate that so much.
Yeah, that would be a real bummer.
Refresh my memory here. Did Wemby play in Summer League? You guys were there, right?
He did not.
No.
I think did he play one game maybe?
I feel like he played. No, he did. He definitely played one game.
Right.
One game.
Because it was the only sold out thing we couldn't get into.
He played one portion of one game.
Yeah,
Okay.
he played.
They're like, all right,
I mean,
come.
Yeah.
then they could do the same thing with Cooper. I could
They
see
certainly
it.
could.
Sure.
Camille Quintero in the comments said, all love to Kendall Gill, but Buzelis was not cooking Flag the way he was describing it, LMAO. And Fish saying, let's have two then, as in, let's have two Cooper Flags if you think that Matas is what Cooper Flagg will be in the NBA. And that's the issue that I took with Kendall's take. It wasn't his belief in Matas. It was justifying not caring about this upcoming draft class and where the Bulls are in the draft lottery standings right now because, hey, look, we got Matas. Okay, if you subscribe to AK's belief that, hey, you can win a championship with 9 or 10 good players, cool, have fun with believing that. You're wrong. Have fun believing it. I would like some more young talent, please. Please, sir, may I have some more? Just because we got Matas, and if you believe in Matas' ceiling, all-star potential, maybe even franchise, like foundational central piece, believe in Matas. It doesn't mean you don't need more young talent right now.
When we had this conversation, because I had this conversation with Kendall before he went on air
Flex.
and said this. We talked last week about this, and it was more so the actual skill set of what those guys do on the floor, and it kind of is similar. Now, I'm not saying Cooper Flagg Cooper Flagg is a phenom. He's like a white Zion to me, all right? He's a phenom. You draft phenoms number one.
Better than Zion.
That's how it goes. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying the phenom factor. That they go number one. That's what they do. He obviously is a better shooter than him and a bunch of other things. I watched this dude score 42, like on 14 shots. He's special, all right? He is definitely special. I think Kendall was coming from the side of, dude, we have somebody who can feel that kind of skill set within him. So he was more so looking at guys like Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey who could complement that. And so when you got a guy like Cooper Flagg and Matas who kind of do the same thing, will preoccupy the same space, that's kind of what he was looking at when we were having the discussion. So I saw it from that point, and I get it. I'm an Ace Bailey guy. I want Ace Bailey. If I get number one, I'm clearly going to take Cooper Flagg, and I will find out how it works. But you know me, I just didn't believe the Bulls were going to get that number one pick. I thought I wanted to get like a top 3 pick. And if I walk away with a Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, that'd be great. But is Matas better than him? I can't say that. I can't sit here and say that. But their skill sets are very similar. Watching them play that one-on-one together, yeah, I don't think he was either one of them were killing each other. I thought that was just a really good game that those two young men were playing together. But maybe Kendall saw more than I did. But yeah, man, like That's where I saw it, where he was coming from. But I completely get the uproar of what people were feeling. Sure.
All right, so shifting gears here from the young uprising player in the Bulls front court to the aging, maybe bitter about still being here member of the Bulls front court, and that being Nikola Vucevic.
Nico bitter? No.
Yeah, he's looked a little disengaged over the past few games, and he did get, he had a triple-double in the Bulls' loss to the Pistons back on February 2nd,
he did.
But he also, on his way to that triple-double, got worked quite a bit, whether it be by Jalen Duren or other members of that Pistons front court. We'll get to him in a second. But, Will, what do you make of this recent stretch of games from Vuce, who, by the way, in his last 3 games, has scored 12 points on 13 shots, 10 points on 11 shots, 10 points on 11 shots, is a combined 2 of 11 from downtown, and is shooting just 40% from the field compared to his season average of 54.5. Is this Vuce checking out?
To be determined.
Okay.
Because just to be very clear, I actually called Matt today and said, hey, we need to talk about this, because this to me is an issue, because there is some concern here. And just to kind of go 3 games farther, over the last 6, he's only averaging 13 points a game, shooting 32% from 3. And remember, he was playing, let's go back 15 games ago. We were talking about, he was playing at an all-star level. And if anybody wants to argue about that, that's great. But I think we all agreed that he was playing at an all-star level. And he was consistently playing very well, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, this is where Billy needs to be really, really careful, okay? Because I say this all the time, and people don't understand this, but when you have a big man, and you can say his defense sucks anyways, it doesn't matter, whatever, but if you want a big, regardless of at what level his defense is, to be engaged on the defensive end, he needs touches on the offensive end.
Mm.
As if you want a big man, as Johnny Bach used to say, to become a matador,
Mm.
and as Johnny Bach used to do, ole, don't give him touches. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm concerned because I think we understand where this team is now. We know what's going on. When you get a mindset to where you feel like, and you've been told that they're going to do everything they can to trade you, because remember in that conversation, Vuce talked about he would really prefer and have the hopes of, before the end of his career, playing on a team that actually can contend for a championship.
Justly so.
Okay. And then you find out you don't get traded. There is a little bit of a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm not saying that, he's depressed, but you start asking yourself, why am I here?
Mm.
I'm obviously not part of the future.
Mm-hmm.
What is it they foresee in me? And now he's not getting the touches that I think it's not because of Zach. I think it's just ironic that it's in the last 6 because Zach hasn't been here. He's getting less touches, fewer shots. It's just kind of weird how this all is lining up. And we could be making something out of nothing. But I think that's something that Billy really needs to keep an eye on, because at the end of the day, he's still the best big man we have.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Smith is playing, Smith is kind of like that guy, if he plays 20 minutes or more, he gives you this.
Mm-hmm.
But if he plays, 20 or less, he really gives you great numbers.
Right.
Not saying he can't do better, but that's kind of who he is. He's in the perfect position for what he does and what he can do and what he's capable of.
Hmm.
So you can't just say, just start him. You'll get the 48-minute production that you get in 20 minutes.
Mm.
That's probably not the case. So I'm curious, as we're moving forward, does Vuce slowly continue to decline, or does Billy take notice and talk to his guys about get the man touches, get him in the screen roll, get him touches down in the post? Because you're still getting the rebound numbers. You're just not getting the points.
Mm.
Anything to add on Vuce, Dave?
It's the stuff I want to say. I'm gonna chill though.
I know you did want to touch on the guy who was giving Vuce the business.
Yeah,
when the Bulls played the Pistons a week ago.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about Duren for a second?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So he's putting up some numbers.
Yeah.
But they've all been just like the modest double-double, right, throughout his career.
Yes.
But you wanted to look at the same thing that I wanted to look at, which is it seems like he plays particularly well against the Bulls.
Yeah.
Handful of those players around the league, and you pulled some numbers.
Yeah, and then you can see him right there. You see the career numbers compared to when he plays the Bulls. He just gets up differently when he's playing the Bulls. When a guy enjoys playing in the interior, goes against a guy that does not enjoy playing in the interior defensively, like they can smell it, they understand it, and he's hungry like the wolf. Shout out Duren. See what I did?
That was nice.
Thank you very much. So yeah, he's been amazing against them.
Not really that good when you have to point it out.
I just shouted out myself.
I know, but just let people figure it out.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's all right, Will, if I big me up.
I mean, I'll understand if we
you
come in.
You ain't going to do it.
Oh, Dave, come on now.
You ain't going to do it, Will.
I mean, I'll understand we come in tomorrow, you got your arm in a sling.
It's for sympathy, man. It's for sympathy. But also, Duren, for his last 5 games against the Bulls, he's averaging 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. Like,
dang,
he's been getting it in. Now, Vooch numbers-wise, if you look at Vooch's numbers, like career-wise against the Celtics with the Bulls, I'm saying, they're pretty good. They're like 24 and 12 and 4 or 5 assists. So he's getting scoring in, but he is not able to stop Duren on the other end, and he gets killed on offensive rebounding as well when he goes against that guy. So playing against Duren, I'm just keeping my eye on him in that matchup because that's a tough dude to go against, man. That is a strong individual who enjoys bully ball with a little hint of just smoothness on his game. You know what I mean? Just a dash of it. Just enough to, it feels like Horace Grant, a little bit. Just a dash of smooth on his game. So he enjoys playing against the Bulls, and when Vooch goes out, it doesn't stop for him because it helps when you got Beef Stew on the other side.
Sure does.
So you got Bump and Thump pretty much down there doing what they want to do. But, man, he can really score, and he is a force. He is a straight-up force when he's out there.
The other thing that I noticed that I mean, it could just be like some weird anomaly, but as far as Duren playing better against the Bulls than his career numbers, he's a career 68 just shy of 70% free throw shooter. This year he's shooting 68.2% from the line. In his 8 career games against the Bulls, he is 22 of 26 from the free throw line. Gets to the line more and shoots it at a near 85% clip. I don't know why. It's weird. But speaking of, that's another part of what has helped Cade Cunningham in this recent tear of his. Cade Cunningham, shout out to him, first-time All-Star selection for the East this year. His season numbers are very impressive, 25.5 points per game on 45, 35, 85 shooting splits, very respectable. Nearly 10 assists per game, 6.5 boards. In their last 10, he's averaging 30 a game. 10 assists, 6 boards.
Turn it up.
But he's gone a bit of a cold streak behind the three-point line, just 28% behind the three-point line over the last 10 games, but he's shooting 97% from the line.
Oh, good God.
So don't foul Cade Cunningham tonight, Bulls. There's a little piece of advice.
And he draws him too, man, because he gets inside and he plays very physical, and a lot of his stuff is on the interior when he's scoring. So he's fun to watch.
So we already know our starters for the Bulls tonight. Obviously, Lonzo Ball out, either illness / back-to-back. Ayo Dosunmu obviously is active and back in the starting lineup after being sent home from yesterday's practice with an illness. For the Pistons, who are still missing Jaden Ivey after fracturing his left leg earlier this season, still rehabbing, we got Cade, Tim Hardaway Jr., Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. It's a pretty respectable starting 5.
Pretty respect. Will, we're taking the over-unders on dust-ups tonight and tomorrow. The over-under is 1.5. Taking the over or the under?
Oh, I'm going over.
I went over with you, sir.
While you were not here with us, we had to clarify, like, because Katie said fights, like, number of fights, and I was like, oh, what? We talking 80s? We talking 80s, 90s NBA fights? Or are we talking modern day NBA fights?
Like, you mean.
Without any blows actually coming about.
No, sorry. What was that? I missed it.
You mean.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Hold me back. But might we see another chapter of Dalen Terry versus Beef Stew tonight?
Let's go.
That's why his jersey is on the table.
I like that, Katie.
There it is.
I saw Pistons. I went Dalen Terry jersey.
Yeah.
Let's see
if he plays more than
What am I supposed to get on her about?
He ain't fair here.
Let's see if Dalen Terry plays more than 4 minutes of garbage time tonight.
Oh,
Unlike the game against the Warriors on Saturday.
Curse your tongue, Matthew Peck.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, we are past 7 o'clock Central Time. That means tip-off right around the corner. We will get out of here. Thank you for tuning in to CHGO Bulls pregame. Hit the gosh darn like button if you haven't done it yet. Before you leave, we're just going to keep bugging you about it when you tune back in for postgame. We will be right here.
Send Katie to your house.
That's right. That's right. Or don't make a sick troll Joe after you.
Oh,
we still got him lurking.
Man.
Enjoy the game. We will be right here for live postgame after Bulls Pistons. Let's watch some hoops, y'all.
Love yourself. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.